Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome to another episode of Two Men No Hope. I very closely got the fucking name of the podcast wrong then.
A couple of weeks not recording and you forgot.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I was sitting around the house because we were doing a late recording, and I had a shower and that, and I'm like, oh, what do I even fucking wear? So I was like, oh, I'll put on my hockey jersey. I was like, oh, fuck it, I don't wear it very often. It's loose.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, I felt like I'd lost a little bit of weight. And I put this fucker on. And like, look at the fucking sleeves. Am I a fucking child or something now? Like, how the fuck have I gone? Like, this was massive when I bought it, like a couple of years ago. And now, like, when I lift my arms up, you can see my fucking elbows.
Maybe it's shrunken than fucking wash. That's what I always try to tell myself.
Oh, fuck knows. But now I feel like a fat bastard, man. And my fucking stomach hurts. I'm like, welcome back. Fucking reality, innit? Arsehole. Well, I thought when you get older, you're supposed to shrink. Not my clothes shrink and I get fatter.
Oh, no. There's like we're at like the midpoint. So what happens is you start off good and then it ends up, you bloat and then you shrink into like this little prune by the end of your lifespan. It's the best way to fucking describe it.
When my fucking nose is going to be in my zipper.
Well, the only thing that grows on you is the length of your ball sack, your fucking ears, and your fucking nose hair. That's the only thing that grows from the age of like fucking 40 onwards.
Start tucking it into my socks. It's fucking low hanging. I had my clinical psychologist meeting or whatever it was, clinical therapy meeting about my stomach, and I was basically just telling her other stuff, and I didn't tell her about my coaching because I was like, I'm not going to tell her because if I tell her that, then she's just going to be like, if you're doing it yourself, then we don't have to fucking get involved.
Well, there's
so I didn't mention that.
And then there's like, she might think it's a clash of interest. What is it called? Conflict of interest with someone else doing it, giving you advice as well.
Yeah, that's not like. Well, it's a job that I'm. No, she's not like a random person, but it's not like the NHS, right? And so I just basically she asked me loads of questions, and I told her whatever. I told her that I've got something undiagnosed, trying to like lay the seed or whatever, and she basically said to me, she was like, "I can see where you think that you're undiagnosed or whatever," and then just basically followed on by telling me how incredibly difficult it is to get referred. And she basically said that if you want to get a referral in the UK for ADHD, you basically have to show that your life is a complete and utter train wreck.
Right.
She was like, the criteria is so slim that they basically want to. The only way they will refer you is if you can't cope with life. So I was like, yeah, well, how am I supposed to live like that? I was like, so because I work and I'm not homeless, they won't refer me. And she's like, yeah, basically. That's mental, isn't it?
So you got to go down the private route?
Yeah, which is too expensive. But no, so she basically says that therapy will help me. She says it's not like a diagnosis for ADHD or anything like that. It's more like basically what I'm doing, the coaching, where they give you tools to manage, like, because I told her about my obsession with food and how it's like crack and stuff.
Yeah.
So she said what we basically do is I'll keep the dietitian who'll help me with my eating like better, and then having like therapy either once a week or twice a week, depending on how much they think I need, and they'll give me tools on how to deal with everything.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, I'm punishing myself for everything. I know the listeners think I'm quite light-hearted, but inside I'm dead, Jamie. So like, is that? So I was like, that's okay.
I think you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't necessarily want the diagnosis. I'm not interested in tablets. That's not what I've come here for. I was like, I don't want to be up to my eyeballs, because if I get used to it and then you run out of a shortage, which there always is on ADHD medication, I'm fucked. I was like, I want tools. I want ways to deal with self-sabotaging and punishing
and you've got to think about things as well, and in the way that everyone, and the reason that it's like that now is because everyone and their fucking dog is diagnosing themselves with ADHD. Like,
yeah,
if you have a conversation with random in a bar, say, they're going to tell you they've got fucking ADHD nowadays because it's become in vogue
yeah,
to have something wrong with you. And ADHD is one of the easiest things to say because it's hard to diagnose. Do you know what I mean? So I think like going through the therapy and stuff will be something that would help you look at things differently, and like someone completely outside of your bubble, because your bubble at the minute is Sabina, your mum and that, me, and that's about it. Like the people at work who drift in and out who you hate. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like you need someone outside your bubble to tell you where the things are lacking or what you're doing wrong. And not necessarily what you're doing wrong, or what you just need to change habits or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I agree. So hopefully, obviously, I'm now on another waiting list. It's just like one fucking waiting list to another.
Yeah.
But hopefully
Mate,
we'll
I
get
work with
things
a
done.
guy, yeah, whose collarbone, yeah, is fucking an inch. He broke it, yeah. It's like an inch gap between his collarbone and where it should be. So it's like the bone is snapped. They won't operate. They're telling him to just keep coming back and see how much mobility he's got.
Fucking hell.
That's the level of like healthcare at minutes.
Yeah.
You're not
There's
the
a
only one.
guy. So 'cause I was away, wouldn't I, for like last week? I
Yeah.
come back and there's two guys that swapped their jobs.
Mm.
And I went up to the guy and I was like, "Why aren't you doing your normal job?" He's like, "Oh, last Friday we were going quite quick, and sometimes we get these fucking massive meat, yeah, like a joke size." And he was like, I was pulling the meat up to put onto the hook, and something popped in my side, and he's like, "I've got a hernia."
Shit.
And he's like,
That
I
ain't
went to
going
the
away.
He's like, I went to the doctors, and he's like, I've now got to wait for a referral for surgery, which could take 6 months.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then once you get on the waiting list, it's another half a year to then get the surgery. So he's got to do a less manual job at work, which is less money because he can't get his fucking hernia sorted.
Yeah.
I thought, like, when I was younger, one of my mates' dad got a hernia, and I remember it was like instant. Like, he went into the hospital. It must have been like really fucking bad, but he got it
Yeah, I
sorted
think
and he
it
was
comes
off.
down to there's overuse of the NHS. You've like when do you remember when I got stabbed with the white gin glasses?
You say stab, but you fell on him.
I fell on them, but I was fucking stabbed up with gin glasses. I had like 12 wounds in my back, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get there, and I would say there's probably 25 people, 30 people in the waiting room's packed. It's a Friday night, and I'm the only one with visible issues, yeah,
Yeah.
like actually bleeding. Then you got one person who looked really bad, like they couldn't breathe properly, so they got looked at pretty quickly. But the rest of the people were there as though it's like Friday night entertainment. And I know people now as well, pretty well, that I used to work with, that as soon as their kid got a cold, instead of going to the GP, because the GP wouldn't give them medicine straight away, or would give them a prescription, and it would take it's hard to get into a GP. They just go straight to the fucking A&E or walk-in centres. So because all of that stuff's overloaded, like they have to throw more staff into them areas, and so then like the normal like operations and stuff like that, the day-to-day procedures of a hospital get lax because they have to fucking deal with the emergency care because it's overloaded.
It's fucking mental. They should have just a normal guy sitting in the waiting room, and when they come in, be like, "What's wrong?"
Well, they
They'll be
actually
like, "I got a
have.
cold. Get the fuck out."
They actually have now.
Someone telling people to fuck off.
Yeah, basically. So when my mate, he rolled his ankle playing football quite badly, like he couldn't move if his foot. They thought he'd broke it at first. So,
Yeah.
and then he went in, And so you would go up to the normal person and say, look, this is what's wrong with me. She's normally behind glass or something, just in case some fucking junkie comes after her or something. And then you get put into the waiting room. When he was in the waiting room, he was there for about half an hour. Another man comes in, said there's like a 7-hour wait minimum for people. And then he goes, I'm going to ask you all to come to the desk one by one. And he called their numbers. They all go over to him. And he released 15 people straight away because they're just there wasting fucking time. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them are drug addicts looking for drugs and fucking saying they've got like bad pains in their back and shit, and there's nothing wrong with them.
Fucking hell, that's what the world's come to, isn't it?
Yeah.
How have you been? Obviously, I haven't spoke to you since we did all our recording. Are we up to date? Are we back up to date with our recordings, or are we still ahead?
We're back up to date this week.
Oh, bollocks!
Back up to date this week. Yeah. So this one will come out this Friday. But yeah, I'm good. Busy. I've been dealing with some stuff on work that I'll tell you about off mic because I'll get in trouble if I talk about it on mic. But I'm essentially changing shifts back to the old school shift, the 6 to 2 and 2 to 10 from December, which could mess up our schedule a little bit. We'll have to do some recording, but we'll talk about that off recording. Other than that, I've just been like trying to pack for Prague because I'm going to Prague Friday. I've just been trying to pack for Prague.
I thought you were going at the end of the November.
So did I.
You're a dickhead, man. Like, I'm just every time. All you have to say to me now is, "I'm going on holiday," and I'm just message your missus. I'll be like, "When is Jamie going away?"
Well, when it doesn't affect the recordings, I just think to myself, "Oh, it don't matter," and then I just don't think about it ever again until we get close to it. So luckily, what I did at payday, which was smart of me this time, is I said to Charlotte, "Here's 500 quid. Do not give me this back." Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's kept it all this time, and then I forgot about it, and so then I went into panic mode because I don't get paid till next week.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I'll have plenty of money for Prague because I'll be paid the week before." No, I'm going the week before that. So,
do you remember the things I told you to say?
No, nothing. I won't be able to find it now.
What's that?
The thing you told me to say.
Oh no! What I sent you? That's not Czech. What I sent you the other day.
Right.
I'll talk to you that in a minute.
But yeah, part of the reason I was later on today as well, yeah, is because obviously I'll get out at 6, then I've got to go and get Rocco and stuff. So on the way back, I needed petrol, and I was in the petrol station, and there's literally one pump open in this petrol station, which is already infuriating because there's 9 pumps. And I'm like, why on a fucking, like, what day is it today? Wednesday afternoon, is there only one pump open, yeah? And this little geezer's walking around with his cones, putting his cones out, and I'm thinking, fuck off, yeah? And then I'm sitting there behind this fucking Renault Clio. And no word of a lie to you, Dan, it took the entire family to get out of this Renault Clio to figure out how to put petrol in this fucking car. And, like, they're all fucking about loads, yeah? And then I'm behind them. I've already been sitting waiting 15 minutes because obviously the queue's been that long. So I'm waiting there behind them. And then they all figure it out. And then they just all walk inside together. And then they're trying to pay before they fucking put the petrol in. And then matey boy's like, no, you can't do that. So then 2 are coming out. And this went back and forth for about 5 or 10 minutes. Like, no word of lie, 5 or 10 minutes, fucking around. And you can imagine people losing their shit, people getting out of their cars, people are beeping. And then, like, they just get in they'd fill up the car, then they move forward a space so then I can start filling up. And then when I go in there, they're all speaking to each other. And I was like, oh, I don't believe the service of this place. And I was just thinking, service? You fucking retards. Do you know what I mean? That's what they fucking are. And, like, why does it take you 4 people to figure out how to open... Like, that is your car. You should know how to open it fucking petrol cap between the 4 of you. Or at least someone have the savvy if it's a new car. But it's not a new car. it's like a fucking 2006 Renault Clio.
Oh no, hang on, Jay. We know now they're very expensive.
Oh, they're very expensive. $5,000 them cars cost, even in 2024. And then I was thinking to myself, what are these people like? There's people like this that exist. And then when I was talking to my mum shortly after, when I went to get the dog, she's like telling me about her. She's just come back from Spain, and they've had like really terrible weather over there, and it was a pretty like dank holiday. They didn't really enjoy it as much as they would have. But then I was like, these people must exist. And then Mum went on then to tell me about how she's managed to find another hotel in the world, because the first time she's done this is years ago in Greece. She found a hotel. Mum only drinks Bacardi, and this hotel only served Bacardi between like fucking 11 in the morning and fucking 9 at night or something. There's some weird fucking hours.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that.
No, it wasn't 11 in the morning until it was 7 in the evening till 9. So it was 3 hours a day you could drink.
Yeah,
Bacardi. So Mum has now found a place in Spain where they have to have drink tokens, even though you've paid for all inclusive. Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
She's walking around, and then if you don't have a token, they won't give you a drink. So then Mum kept going up to the bar without the token, because obviously you don't think to have a token on you.
Yeah.
And then they kept saying, no token, no drink. And then, like, sending her back. And then she would go and get the token. And by the end of it, she's infuriated. And I was just like, Mum, how have you managed to find 2 of these fucking places in one go? Like, I was like, next time she goes on holiday, because I've been on how many holidays? Well, you know, the podcast knows. People listen to the podcast know. I've had 1,000 holidays a year.
Yeah.
I've never once had any issues with drink tokens or fucking limited on my drinks or anything like that. And Mum's like, oh, it's the last time I'm doing all inclusive. It's the last time I'm doing all inclusive. And I was like, I just compared Mum directly to this family at the fucking petrol station. And I was like, Mum, you and Dad booking a holiday is like that family trying to fill that fucking Renault Clio up. It's fucking useless. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck's sake. That's mental.
Mate.
I can't believe you're going to fucking Prague. So I miss it, man. Like, I'm already fucking
clucking.
Yeah, I'm gutted that I'm not fucking.
Maybe you end up over there eventually, living.
No, I don't think Sabina wants to live over there, but it's so good. Yeah, I had like a fucking quality time. We went to the hockey and we fucking smashed Sparta Prague.
Yeah.
They're dirty fucking players, man. They were like grabbing sticks, grabbing fucking. They're trying to start fights. We've got a guy on our team that's like 17. Okay. He was a fucking beast. And they were going for him. Like, they were like picking him, but I'll tell you what, they fucking regretted it. He was giving as good as he got, but yeah, we were fucking killing it. But yeah, we had a couple nights in Prague. We decided to go and like spend some time with ourselves. Fucking, yeah. I got my Svishkova. Fucking love it, man. We found a restaurant, or Sabina's sister's boyfriend told us a place to send you, where it's like unlimited dumplings.
Unlimited dumplings.
Yeah.
What to go with the shifka? What is it called? Shifka.
Svishkova. Yeah. So it's like slices of beef.
Yeah.
With a vegetable sauce, and then you get like a few dumplings because the sauce, they get loads of sauce, and then they give you like the IKEA jam, and then some cream. It's fucking, I love it, man. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, that was the thing that weirded me out. It had like cream and jam on a savoury dish.
Yeah. But you mix it in and stuff like that. It's really fucking good. Like if I can get it, that's what I normally get.
Yeah.
And then we went to this wicked market as well. What days you going? Friday,
fly back Monday, I think.
Yeah, so on the Saturday morning, I think it's like 9 till 12 or 9 till 1.
Yeah.
There's a market that's on the side of the river that goes through the middle.
Okay.
And it's like a little food sort of place. Like there's meat and vegetables and flowers and cakes and tons of shit. So I'll send you you and Shark go. It's fucking quality. And they had like a mulled wine stand, and obviously it's full of tourists, but they had like different flavors. I had the pear. It was like white wine with pear. Blinding.
Oh, okay.
But they do a thing where the cup that they give you have to pay 20 coronas deposit. And there was this like Japanese family in front of us, and they were just looking at these people, and they're like, the one guy that could speak English is telling them, and they still didn't know what was going on. And it was like, fucking hell, just move out of the fucking way. But it's good because if you take your cut back, they give you the money.
Yeah, because it's a deposit, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can either fuck off and leave it
back, basically.
But I mean, like 20 Coronas, like nothing. It's like 40p, not even that, 30p, something like that.
Yeah.
But they're shit cups. So I've just fucking. We took it back, and then we went to this place where you can get smoked meat. It's like on the other side. Oh, it's fucking blinding. It's the same place where I got that pig slaughter soup.
Oh, right, yeah.
But they didn't have that this time. But instead, they had a version that's like in a sausage. And I tell you,
what? So like a soup in a sausage?
No, it's like the ingredients. So it was like pig intestines and liver. And stuff.
So they like made it like a solid thing.
No, this is what got me right. So they tell me it's a sausage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's like a Czech haggis sort of thing. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, in my head, I was like, it's going to be solid. They put it looks like a fucking sausage. They put it on a grill and they're like, oh, it'll be like 8-10 minutes because we need to heat it up and that. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. We eat the smoked meat anyway. It comes out and I go to cut it and it's not like a sausage. Like it's just got the casing. It's like squidgy. So I like cut it open and like all the insides start leaking out. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, what have I got myself into here?
Yeah.
And they give you bread with everything because it's Czech, which I fucking love. And I took some and I spread it on the bread. Oh, man. It was so good. and they were like, oh, you don't have to eat the casing. Like, a lot of people don't because obviously it's just rubbery. And I'm like, nah, that's wasteful. So I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, I bet you fucking did.
Dan's a beast, yeah. I don't think I took a picture of it. But, yeah, that was pretty fucking good as well. And I was saying of being in like problems. So in Czech, they have a thing called Baguette Boulevard, which is like Subway, but it's better ingredients, like it's proper subs.
Yeah.
And we had like an early lunch on the Friday, so we were like, oh, we'll just go in there for dinner and just get something like that and just have it back at the room.
Yeah.
So we went in and there was like, oh, sweet, they do like a baguette box, and it was 8 like half baguettes, like slices, and then you get 2 lots of chips, and it was fuck all because everything's fuck all in price. We were like, we'll get that, a mixture. We're waiting, and it's a bit busy, and some guy comes in, and he goes up to the counter, and it looks like there's like a mistake with his order. And me and Sabina just stand there watching him because, well, why wouldn't you? And then a box comes out, and I go to Sabina, oh, that must be ours. And then he hands it to this guy with an iced tea that Sabina ordered, and the guy leaves. And our number comes off the screen. And I'm like...
So you think he's got your drink?
I was like,
your stuff in that?
Yeah, I was like, that was definitely ours. So obviously, I can't deal with it because I don't speak Czech. So she goes up and she says to the guy, and the guy is this young manager bloke. And he looks at it, and he looks at the screen, and he's like... So you could see in his face, he'd realised that was our fucking order. So he orders another one. And she's like, yeah, I think it was. But he sorted it out. And I was like, it's busy. I'm on holiday, right? I'm not in that.
You're like in relax mode.
Yeah. So
this
I'm
ain't
just
like 7 o'clock after work thinking, fucking give me one fucking baguette.
So like we're standing there another like 4 or 5 minutes, and 2 boxes come out. I bet you can see where I'm going with this. So 2 boxes come out, and I'm like, oh, obviously one of those is ours. And he picks up something from the counter, and we're like, oh, he's giving us something extra for the problem.
Yeah.
So he hands us the box, and we get an extra portion of chips, and he gives the drink, and we walk back to the place. And we sit down and open the box, and they're like, the baguette's a whole meal. And I'm like, okay. I don't think this is our order. And she's like, what? And I'm like, so I look, and you're supposed to get 2 portions of chips, and one of them is like these cheesy, whatever, I don't know, like mozzarella sticks. And I'm like, this ain't our fucking order. So 2 come out, and he's given us some other dickhead's order. and she was like, if I'd noticed this on the way home, I would have turned around. I was like, so was I, but I'm fucking eating it now.
And it wasn't like... this cheese, and I'm going to shit myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, mate. But, like, even, like, yeah, they have some, like, weird ingredients. One of them had, like, blue cheese in it. Like, it wasn't enjoyable, but I ate it anyway. You know what I mean? But
blue cheese inside what? The baguette?
In the baguette, yeah. I don't know what it was because we didn't order it, obviously. So I know one was a Caesar salad one, but the other one with the blue cheese, I have no fucking idea what was in it. It's like it was all right. I think it was like chicken, but fuck knows. But yeah, so I was like, fucking great.
Did I speak to you? Have I spoke to you since I went to the Oktoberfest?
No, I don't think so.
So, me and like a big group of people from work went to Oktoberfest, like Stein beers and fucking
Wait, didn't
German
you?
sausages and stuff.
I think you were saying something about in the last episode about you're not allowed to turn up drunk or something.
Oh yeah. So there was a thing on the door: don't turn up drunk. We went on a pub crawl beforehand. We were actually okay when we got there. I was on good form for most of the night as well. I was all right. My younger brother, however, even though he to this day he's one of them annoying people that will not admit they were drunk on the night, even though he fucking langered.
Yeah.
And we were in the bar and he's finishing other people's steins. He doesn't drink beer. My brother doesn't drink beer at all. Yeah. So he's finishing other people's steins, and I'm like, right. So then I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to slow down and keep an eye on him. So then I only, instead of drinking at double pace like I normally do, I just drank at normal pace, and I was like going for it. And I looked at him. He was dancing and enjoying himself, having a great time. And then we all went into like this other bit because like there's only so much band you can fucking put up with, and then you need to listen to some normal music. So we went into like the next bit and like listened to normal music and danced to that stuff. And then he got confused when he come out of the toilet and went back and sat on the 12-person table by himself. Yeah.
What the fuck?
And he's just sitting there, and he's like sitting looking into space. And I goes to my mate Craig. I was like, "Go and grab my brother, please," because he's sitting in there by himself. And he's like, "Okay." He goes, gets him, brings him through. Then I get him. I like wingman the shit out of him and got him chatting to some ginger girl. And like it was all big moment. He's chatting to a girl. He completely. When I walked off, he spoke to her for like 5 seconds and then fucking walked off. He just went into like tunnel vision mode, and then we were all gonna go out afterwards, and I was like, because Uncle Joe was obviously there with us as well, and he was finished. He'd had enough beers. He'd had enough. He wanted to go home. I was just like, "Are you all right to take my brother? Because I want to stay out, but my brother, who's normally the one looking after me, is fucking finished." Yeah. So then we went to the Slug and Lettuce in Bedford Town Centre afterwards.
Mm.
5 of us walked in, and no word of a lie, there's 5 of us in the bar. There's no one else in the whole massive Slug and Lettuce. Like it's the size of all Wetherspoons, and we're the only 5 people in there. And it's
is that because they were at Oktoberfest?
It's a Friday night. It was like, where is everyone? There was like, oh, it's like this on Fridays. I was like, why do you open? There's no one here. So then obviously we drank our drink quickly and then went into the pub bar next door, which was called Vogue. And I was in there for like 2-3 drinks, and I was on like, do you know you're fucked?
Yeah.
And I'm just standing there, and I was like talking to my mate Rabbit, and I said something, and it just come out like Chinese. And he was like, what are you saying? And then I said something again, and it was like blah, 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 just complete gibberish, yeah. So then he was like, "Oh, I can't hear you." And then I just drank the rest of my drink and fucking disappeared into the night. Innit? I decided to do the old famous Irish exit and just fucking went outside, booked a taxi, didn't tell anyone where I was going. So like everyone started panicking, thinking I disappeared. And was like looking for me. And I wasn't answering no one's fucking calls or texts because I was like, I'm going home, innit? Because all I could think about was the train journey home, and it was going to be long. So I was like, I'm getting straight in the taxi. I'm going straight home. No one's hindering me. I'm getting straight back. And when I get home, I had like fucking 13 missed calls, innit? I was like, right, I better call everyone back to say I'm alive. And I was like, how are you already in Luton? I was like, they're waiting for the train in Bedford train station at 3 a.m. And I'm like, nah, bruv, that ain't me. That ain't me.
I was saying to Sabina, because we were all over Prague.
Yeah.
Like at one point I called it the baby tower, because it's a tower covered in babies, you know, because I'm creative that way, Jamie. And then we went over to see a cousin who lives near the castle, and there's a fucking quality Starbucks on the side of the castle. And she was like, we were over there a second ago, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's fucking miles away, because you get on like trains and buses and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know whether Jamie's going to be able to cope with all the fucking walking. I was like, he's going to try and like Uber like everywhere.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I was in Parma on a city break not long ago. That's you have to walk. There's no other option.
Well, there's Uber there, but like that's why I sent you that video of like when the guy was saying about Ubering from the airport, because we came back, we got a lift back from Kalarivari into Prague. We were stuck in traffic for an hour and a half, not moving.
Jesus, that's fucking mental.
Yeah, that's why I was like trying to send you that thing, because you basically, and for anyone else that wants to go to Prague, when you come out of where you get your bags and that, just before you exit, there's machines on the side for like transport tickets.
Yeah.
And you got like 30 minutes, 90 minutes, 1 day, 3 days. And you basically, so if you were there, you probably had to get the 3-day one. And that ticket gets you on the bus, trains, and trams.
Okay, so it's like a pass thing.
Yeah. So right. So we basically, because we were only there for like a day and a half, we got like a day ticket. But you go out, and then like as you come out, there's like a bus shelter in the middle. Jump on the 100, 20 minutes, it takes you to like their bus station bit. Go on the train, and there's 3 lines: a yellow, red, and a green. The train one's on the yellow, and then when you get to the middle, they all cross over. Easiest fucking subway system like ever.
Yeah, normally we were everywhere but fucking England's easy.
Well, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you just go off the bus onto the train. I think it's 11 stops. You get off like Florence, or like depending on where your hotel is, and you're in fucking Prague.
Yeah, I think we got a private taxi coming from the airport.
Yeah, so you have to let me know.
Have to do a train or something.
You'll have to let me know how long it takes to get into.
Yeah, we'll do. But we're staying right by that fucking clock thing.
The shitty clock.
The thing that pops out that you said about, you talked about.
Oh, fucking hell.
I don't know how, but we've got, because I didn't check this when I booked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I booked it fucking months ago. When I booked it for Charlotte's birthday, so it must have been like April time. Somehow off my own, because obviously I'm not very good at doing things by myself, Dan. You know that, like with my track record online. I've managed to book us in the middle of like the old town where all the restaurants and bars are.
Yeah, I know where the clock is.
Yeah, so Charlotte's like really happy with the positioning, and I was like, yeah, I meant that. I meant to do that.
It's busy as fuck though. Like,
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I said it's going to be busy because we've already booked into the restaurant that's on the end of our road, and that was like nearly booked up already.
I think I know the one you're going to end up going to. It's got like outside seating.
Maybe I'll tell you. I'll go. I'll pull it up and I'll tell you.
There's one next to that clock. I think it's called like Viking something. Right. But the clock does my nutting, because as we're walking along, every hour there's just a fucking massive queue. And I tell you what, like you stand and watch it, because obviously it's something to see.
Yeah.
But it's the most underwhelming piece of shit I've ever fucking seen. Like, don't even bother recording it on your phone, because it's not worth the storage. Because I did that already.
Are the people queuing to just look at it come out, or are they queuing to go up it?
Just to look at it. The whole square, every hour, is full of people just staring up at this clock.
Oh, really?
It's the most annoying thing to walk through when you've seen it already, because everyone just stands like shoulder to shoulder.
Really? Oh my god! Because that thing is where a lot of the bars are. In that square. Yeah. I'll be sitting there looking at them being dickheads, and then like we've looked at like there's a bar that does like there's beers on like a little train track that comes around. I'm going to go and do that, and then there's a robot bar, so we're going to go and have a look at that, which is like in the same place that Ice Bar is. I think in like a big, like it's in a big like multi-story bar place.
It's okay, I know who you are. Yeah,
do you know like the robots that you have in like well, they're in like my place, but they make your cocktails for you. So it should be pretty cool. But I said to her, if we go to any of these places and it's heaving and there's like, oh, you've got a 45-minute wait, I'm not that bothered. Like, we'll just walk off and go and do something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's fucking plenty of stuff.
There's loads of. It looks like, from when we've been looking online, it looks like loads of stuff to do in Prague. So, although I did say I'll do a river cruise if the fucking weather's good enough.
The weather
if it's
was choppy,
choppy,
we were there.
If there's choppy, Dan, I ain't getting in that fucking boat, mate.
When we were at the market thing, in the distance you could see the rain. Like, you could see it coming. Cool. And then all of a sudden it was like started and we were like, fuck.
We probably almost definitely do the market. We do like a little food market.
Yeah. The tram as well, you can jump on it and it drops you off like right outside. So that's pretty sweet. The tram's really fucking handy. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be right.
Does the tram take you to the castle?
Jay. Don't make a fool of yourself. Yeah, it does, yeah.
Don't make a fool of myself, Dan.
Yeah, don't make a fool of yourself.
What do you mean?
That's my second home now, Jay.
Oh, fuck off, Dan.
You got to be sensible in Prague. Yeah, it does, yeah. It takes you up to the other side.
Do you think I'm going to behave in a place that's famous for beer?
But I tell you this, right? Tram it up and walk down. Don't do it the other way around, because the fucking walk is a killer if you walk up it.
Oh, really? Shit, is it?
Yeah, it's like fucking like straight up. So like when you go to the castle, if you're looking at the castle from the front, on your right is go in that Starbucks. It's fucking quality. It's like the best view of Prague in the Starbucks. But next to the Starbucks is these stairs, and they basically just go fucking straight down. There's about 50 of them. They take straight down, and you see people with fucking buggies trying to lift it up. But if you go straight down those stairs, and keep going forward, it takes you to the Charles Bridge.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like, if you
go down that way,
go down, but don't walk up, because it's fucking. Ugh.
Oh no! If I see it at the top of a hill, bruv, I'll be like, nah. I ain't going up there. I said, I'll see you later, Charlotte. You can go up there if you want.
But if you buy the ticket, by the way, you have to print it, like, so it comes out the machine, and when you get on the bus or the tram or anything, you'll see like a machine with like a yellow arrow. You have to put your ticket in there, and it prints the time on the ticket.
Right.
If you just buy the ticket and get on, it doesn't. You haven't done anything to it. It's blank, so you can get yourself in trouble.
Right.
So you got to put it in, and it prints, so it tells the time of when you've actually started using it.
I can see me forgetting that. That's going to happen.
No, because you'll see people doing it, going in. You'll see like the machines sticking up. It's normally just like a yellow box with like a line. You just put it in and it goes.
I've not got a good track record with trams. In Amsterdam, the tram. Oh, I was very high in Amsterdam, but it was like the tram was like unreal, and we used to have to get on that tram for 35 minutes to go in from the hotel to the centre. And I just remember standing there, and I was like thinking this woman's going to rob me the whole time. And I was just like, Kieran was like, stop looking at her. And I was just looking at her like this. I was just like,
and someone tells you to stop doing it, you like zone in.
And Matt's like, oh, we need I'm going to get sick on this tram. It's so hot in here, man. It's so hot.
Oh, fuck that. I can't stand it when it's fucking sweating. Please remember, all the opinions in the show are those of the host, and should be taken as food for thought. We are in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners, and no information shared to anyone else. If you're easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but it's not the podcast for you. See you later. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Please go on our beacons. Our merch is on there. It's just a click away. Christmas coming up. It'll be a good gift. And you also get 20% off Essence Vault when you're on there as well. I need to clean up our emailing system. Afternoon, gents. I've been working for a new firm for the last few months, and yesterday I met the boss. The boss is a guy who I had an issue with back in school over 10 years ago, and I could tell he took an instant dislike to me for being the new guy working here, so I'm panicking about my job. What do I do, gents? Do you think he even recognises him?
Did he say he recognised him straight away, or did he recognise him?
He just says, I could tell he took an instant dislike to me, but he didn't say that he recognised who he was.
I don't know. I think I would still recognise... Well, I'd hope people would still recognise me, but I think I would definitely recognise people from school. If someone's holding a grudge 10 years later, I don't know how long I've been out of school, 2008, 14 years. If someone's still holding a grudge since I left school, then they're obviously hanging on to something that they need to get over themselves, to be honest.
I still hold grudges from people at school, Jamie.
Really?
Yeah, they're cunts.
Yeah, but was you bullied by people?
Yeah.
Well, the only that's the only thing I would accept. Do you know what I mean? So if this geezer that wrote into us, if he was a bully to this guy that's now his boss, then that's some fucking bad luck. Like that, you like that's some karma and some comeuppances.
Yeah.
But I always like to think I was a dickhead in school, but I never bullied anyone, so I don't understand now why anyone would hold a grudge against me. So if you have some underlying guilt there, then maybe you need to look at whether you actually bullied this guy when you were younger, and if it comes to a head, just like, look, I remember how things were back in the day, but I would like to apologise for my behaviour back then or whatever. But I think then bridges might be burnt if you did bully this guy.
Well, he says that the guy had an issue with him, so I can imagine that it was probably just a dislike thing. But like when you're working and stuff like that, I think even like when you first meet someone, especially depending on what job you're in, there's that sort of like time that you need to assess like whether they're going to be a dickhead or not. So he's probably just like sizing you up.
100%,
but I mean,
yeah.
Working and school life is completely different. Like for me, if this happened, I was like, oh shit, I know this guy, but he's still your boss, right? So I would still.
The problem is some people don't grow up. I think there's still some people
that
because obviously you remember I used to not be able to walk through certain neighborhoods and shit like that. There's still some of them type of people around that if I was to see them in a pub now, there would still probably be an issue, even though it's fucking 15 years later, and like everyone's grown up and got fucking kids and shit, but like and married and stuff. But there'll be some people that haven't moved past that teenage years and still living in that fucking. A lot of them people don't tend to have jobs and stuff though. So this guy, I don't know. Maybe he's overthinking it because he does recognise him, or it could be that if he didn't like you then, he's not going to like you now, and that you've got to be looking elsewhere. But I think that you're only going to know with time. I think
your work speaks for yourself, right? I think. Like at the end of the day, he's your boss, so you want to try and impress him, whether you knew him or not.
Yeah.
So I think letting your work speak for yourself, because I mean, like he could not like you, but if you're doing your work and you're doing it well, then he's got no reason other than he's got a personal dislike for you. But that's who gives a fuck. You're there to earn money and do your job. As long as you're doing your job and doing it well, he has no reason to treat you differently or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a few people that in my place that used to go to school at the same time. They weren't in my year group, but they were at the same time. Or like one of the maintenance guys went to college with me when I was really fucking about, and they remembered me like that. But then now I'm a different person, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's a different interaction now. So I don't think it's nothing necessarily to worry about unless it gets voiced, or he's a cunt to you. Then you know where you stand. But until anything happens, just try not to let it be something that comes up, if you know what I mean.
I wouldn't even bring it up. I'd be like, I pretend like I don't know. He'd be like, didn't we go to high school together? And I'd be like, I didn't go to high school.
My mama took me out of school at the age of 12.
I was homeschooled.
I was homeschooled.
You must know my brother Trevor. he went to high school. We look alike, except I've got a better face than him.
He used to call himself Dan during the week.
Sometimes we would do the parent trap, and when I wanted to go to school, he would let me go in his place. I mean, so I can understand the why you made a mistake there, but no, it was not me.
But or like they say, I think we go to school together. You just don't deny the entire concept of school. You're just like, what school? And then and they're trying to explain. It's like, oh, I've never heard of that before. I was born an adult. There was no adolescence here.
I was like, I came out and I had a fucking barber's appointment. I had so much hair. I mean, don't you worry about it, son.
I was born with work boots on.
But I wouldn't worry about it. Like, I think it's just like initial shock of being like, oh, I used to know him. But like, once, like I think we've said before, like once you leave school, all those sort of things are just forgotten unless like you're a dickhead to someone. Then obviously
Yeah, majority of things you don't really bring up. I've been in pubs loads of times and stuff, and obviously I'm not going to be around that person for a long time. But last month I was in a pub with Alex and Mike, who's friends of mine, and then that's a local pub, Stopsley. Someone's bound to walk in that knows me. Someone walked in that knew me from high school. We just didn't even acknowledge each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they clearly recognised me, and I clearly recognised them. But if you didn't really talk in high school, why are you going to like have a catch up all of a sudden? What's worse is if you pretend you were best friends in high school and you never fucking spoke to each other for 5 years. Do you know what I mean? That's worse.
I said it before when I worked at the petrol station, and that guy come in and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you worked here," and then he just kept coming in. He's trying to get me to go fucking camping and shit with him.
Camping, like, he's
yeah.
I'm
I'm
rape
like,
you
why
or
you fucking talk to me? Like you were such a cunt to me in school. Like I don't. But he's like, "Oh, how have you been? I've been doing this," and I'm like, he's already got a fucking kid. And I'm like, you're a fucking train wreck, mate. I ain't dealing with you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, people have no like social awareness sometimes, and like that doesn't help things. So this geezer might not even be knowing that he's like giving you bad vibes now, or you're picking up on bad vibes because you're just aware of how you know each other. This guy might, as Dan said, he might not even recognise him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I try and block them all out. Probably, I mean, they've probably got worse teeth than I have.
Blocking out the haters.
Most of the junkies I went to school with. But good luck. I'm sure it's okay. And I had to, because I went on holiday, I was like getting the emails. But obviously, I was on holiday. So every email I sent today, I had to put in, sorry, I was on holiday and I haven't done any emails. Because some of them were like 12 days old. Oh, well. I'm still alive. Just wait, ever reply.
I'm sure some people expect there to be a delay. They know we're away as well.
Yeah. What if they're listening? Yeah. Hey guys, I spoke to a dude I work with and I recommended you guys, and now he's hooked. He's been quoting back some of the funny back and forth from you guys, like Biters, the zombie brothel, and some of the scenarios Jamie was put into Dan. Thought it would be good to see some more of that stuff. Possible ideas could be. Here we go, Jamie. We haven't done stuff like this in a while, actually. We had a lot of people emailing in.
Yeah, a lot of serious questions. Well, not recently, but like back and forths.
I like the way people laugh about the zombie brothel like it's not going to be a possibility that's coming.
Dan's already got like test fucking people. You don't know about Dan's basement.
I've got many fingers in pies, Jay, that no one knows about. It's all coming. My cult Bible is being written as we speak to get people hooked. It's all coming. It's all coming.
What was that? There was a horror film years ago where it was like zombies up in Scotland. Like there was a wall.
Oh, fuck! They drive in a car, and it's got that really famous actor in it.
There's like they drive a Bentley around, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they end up in like a castle, and the guys
yeah, and then they think it's like medieval times. It's like they wall off the whole of Scotland because of zombies.
If I can remember the fucking guy, because it's got a really famous actor in it, old guy, and I can't for the life of me remember what else he's been in.
Hang on, give me a sec. Because that's what I'm thinking when zombies happen. I'm walling off Scotland just to make sure that you're on the other side of that wall, Dan, because I know you're going to be causing me some problems.
Did you see they making a horror film about midges?
Midges?
The
really?
little flies, yeah.
The little cunts, yeah.
In Scotland, yeah.
I wonder if Americans even know what a midge is.
Yeah, they're like little mosquito
Doomsday.
things.
I thought it was called Doomsday.
Doomsday. What was the old fellow that was in it?
Oh, God. Hang on.
I say old fella. Malcolm McDowell. He's what I was thinking of.
Malcolm McDowell.
He was in Clockwork Orange. He was in Halloween. He's in quite a lot of the Halloweens. Who was he in Clockwork Orange? Oh, he was the fucking main guy. Of course he was, a dickhead. He was Alex.
Oh, I watched all the Terrifier films, by the way.
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Ugh.
Is that bad? Like, were they just gruesome as fuck? Even the new one?
They're gruesome. They're gruesome. Like, do you know when they're like, oh, people are leaving the cinema and all that shit? I don't get why they're leaving the cinema. Like, you know what you're signing up to.
Yeah.
I watched all 3 back to back as well, so I had a pretty horrific afternoon. Hungover from Oktoberfest. Yeah, it is horrendous. Like some of the stuff that happens in the film is horrendous. The first film is like a fan fiction film. Like you can clearly see there's no budget to it, like in the acting and everything. But as the two go on, you can see more and more money gets put into them. But they're like the prosthetics and the whole theme of it is like very Freddy Krueger esque, like the whole pace into it, and that's quite cool to have back in cinema. Like they do like the big boobed woman getting killed and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Speedy wants to see him as well, so I'll watch him.
Just give her a little warning.
Oh, I think she already knows.
There's some genitalia mutilation.
Oh wait, there's a funny thing. Look, what would you guys do if you were the main person being chased by the Terrifier or a Freddy type character? where were you even? Where you are not even safe in your dreams. I'm pretty. If Freddy came into my dreams, I'm pretty sure I'm safe. They fucked up.
Mate, my dreams are bad enough, man.
Yeah.
I've already got sleep paralysis fucking shit going on. All he needs to be doing is dancing on the ceiling while I'm doing it.
Fucking head twisting round.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you do if you were being chased by the Terrifier or Freddy?
From watching these films recently, and then obviously the old school Freddy films and that, what I will not do is fall over at least 17 times in the time I'm running away. Like, I'm not being funny. I'm bad on my feet if I've had a few drinks, yeah. But some of these people, they're getting up and they're forward flipping again. Like, they're almost like they may as well be doing somersaults down the corridor sometimes. And I just think, what are you doing? What are you doing? If I had someone like the Terrifier after me, or Freddy Krueger, like someone that's like supernatural, there's no real way of getting away from him, and you've got to do the whole investigation. So are we saying that I already know about them?
It just says being chased.
Being chased. I will go after them. I'll find a way to go after them myself. I'll fight back.
I would just give up.
I know you would.
I hate being chased. It's the one thing that I just can't. I'm like a child, right? Like if I'm walking and you
probably like lay on the floor and starfish, just waiting to be fucking mutilated.
Yeah, like I'm really childish with certain things. Like if I'm walking along and you chase me, I'll just turn around and be like, no, just no, it's not happening. I'm not running. I'm not going. No, I don't like it. I said before, didn't I? Like coming down the stairs out front of Sabina's apartment, like flat.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just stop and I'm like, you go first. I can't handle people behind me. Just can't do it. I just give up. I'm like a child. I'm like, no, it's not happening. Like
see, with me, man, I'm just like, I'll fight back. Yeah, I'll fucking try and choke him out or something. I'll try and do something. But do you know, if I had like something that I could hit him with, I'd hit him. But I won't be hitting him once, because that's what happens in horror films. They hit him once and then they just start running, and then they think, oh, he's dead. No, he's not fucking dead. I'll go after him and fake. If I'm going to kill him, I'll fully like get rid of the head. The head's got to come off.
Without giving too much away, because I haven't seen them or anything. Like, is the Terrifier a normal person, or is he like Mike Myers, where he's
in the first one he's human, in the second two he's not. Okay,
fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not this guy that's like I'm out to save the fucking world, right? Like if I'm going, I'm going. So if these guys are chasing me, I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna.
Dan, I'm not out to save the world, mate. I'm out to save my own skin.
But that's the whole point of these movies, right? It's like the main characters being like, especially with like Freddy, and they're like, no, I have to stop them so it stops and he doesn't kill anyone else. It's like, I don't give a fuck about anyone else. Like, if I'm going, I'm just going to be gone, mate. You can fucking know yourself.
Do you know that film, It Follows, yeah, where the guy just has sex with someone else to pass it on? That'd be me, bro. Yeah. I'd be like, how do I pass this affliction on to someone else?
Yeah.
How do I get Freddy interested in someone else? But what I'd also do as well is if he is coming after me, and there is a fight to the fucking death, I'll make sure he's fucking dead.
What was I watching the other day? And I was like, I hate it when people don't make sure that they're dead. There was someone, I can't remember, we were watching a movie or something, and someone was getting chased, and they're about to be killed, and someone comes in and whacks the guy in the head with something.
Yeah.
Now I would then turn and then stamp on that guy's head, because I'm like, you ain't getting up, bitch. I've got you down now and you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
But they don't.
Finished.
They throw away the weapon, they pick up their mate, and then they run off, and the guy gets up and he's like, oh, that's a bit of luck, I'll carry on. Like, finish him off. What?
And they look back and he's gone.
Yeah, and then he turns up somewhere else. It's like, that's your fault. Your fault you didn't fucking... There's a reason why they teach you to shoot in the face and shoot in the chest.
Finish your dinner.
Fucking movies, man. I swear to fuck.
And do you know what I would do, speaking of having a mate with you? If there's a mate with me, I will cripple them and fucking run.
I'm glad that wasn't me, because I'd be doing it to you. What would you do if the apes have taken over the world like in Planet of the Apes? This is easy. Everyone knows what Dan would do.
Again, Dan is going to fucking give in.
I'd be that motherfucker with a clipboard who's lining up the humans. I'd be like, you're going to his house, you're going to your house. Oh, you got nice buns on you. You go to the fucking chimpanzees. They're like that. I'm standing there like fucking king.
I wouldn't be. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be interested in like running a resistance movement. Do you know how there's always a resistance?
Yeah.
And they're all like a ragtag group of guys that have been they've been through the mill.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in being one of them. I will try and find a way that I can live in secret so they don't know that I'm fucking there, and just like carry on my life as quietly as possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in trying to stop the monkeys taking over. Once they've taken over, that's it. It's done, isn't
it? Did you see the new Planet of the Apes movie?
Yes.
What a wonderful day! Yeah, I'm that white man that is like in the chambers. Like all of a sudden,
the pussy guy.
Yeah. There's a guy who's teaching him about history and that. That's me. You're on this massive quest and you find this massive colony of apes, and there's one white guy. That's me.
That's Dan.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll suck your dick, man. If you keep me around, I'll just suck it every day if you want.
Hey man, if they want to feed me bananas and live like a king, I'll suck their dick. I don't even give a fuck. It's end of the world shit, man. End of the world shit.
Man. I would just live in like a fucking basement or something, and just like if I get caught out every now and then, there's a few dead monkeys. That's it. Do you know what I mean? I would just be living life, watching probably repeats of fucking Friends or something on a DVD player somehow.
And then they capture you and they put you in a room with me, and I'm like, all you got to do is just one a day. Suck it. You live like king, man. You live like a king. I'm like shaking. Like, look at these robes. They're silk. They're silk, man. I'll get bananas all I can eat.
No, do you know how in them films they always bring you in and make out as though everything's really nice at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then you're like, see, this is how good life can be when you collaborate and all this shit. Then I start realising that you're like giving them babies and stuff to eat.
Your name's already on my list, mate. Like, I know which house you're going to. You just don't know it yet. I just want you to know that to you to think it's free will, but secretly I already know where you're going. I'll bring you to a party and I'll be like, here's, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp. Aren't these lovely? And I'll leave you there for a bit. And you're like, yeah, they're really nice. Oh, yeah, do you want to go see their house?
That's the real reason Sabina leaves them little fucking ducks in my house, isn't it? Because she's fucking... They're little trackers. She's put stuff in my clothes and all sorts. So you know where I
am. What would you do if you guys were given 7 wishes, but you had to... What would you do if you were given 7 wishes, but you had to sell your soul? I would sell my fucking soul. What kind of a question is that?
Well, yeah.
That's mental.
I'm not being funny, but everyone knows my take on religion. So I'd be like, selling my soul to who? I'll just sell it. Fuck it.
Yeah, because of fun. And I like the way there's no, because I always overthink things, but but you can't use one of your wishes to get your soul back.
Very good, Dan. Well put. That'll be one of them.
Yeah, and then I'll just.
And then I'd probably sell it again and see if I can get another 7.
There's always a loophole.
I'll be like one of them couponers, do you know, that you see on fucking
extreme couponer. Yeah,
yeah. It's like they actually owe me $47. That's how I'd end up.
The devil sees you coming over the hill, and he's like, "For fuck's sake."
That's like me with my because everyone takes a piss about my holidays at work because I've managed, even though we've all got the same entitlement, I've managed 7 holidays this year, and they've said they're like, "How is it even possible?" And then like they talk about management seeing me walk towards them with holiday forms. It's like you can't have more hours, and then looking on the computer to see my hours. It's like he does have more hours. How is it possible?
I feel bad. It's either like a funeral or like a holiday, like one of the two. I mean, can I work extra hours because I've got to go somewhere tomorrow?
Yeah, what you do is you book these things, Dan, and then you apologise afterwards. That's what I do.
I just fucking. I think I've still got like 5 days left or something. Yeah, that's easy. What I would use my wishes for? I don't know. I don't know. Money. Everyone uses money. Don't they?
The 3 easy ones is big dick.
That would imply that you haven't got one already.
I've got a pretty mid dick. I wouldn't say I've got a small dick. It's pretty mid. A body like fucking The Rock or something, but I don't have to maintain it. It's just automatically always like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I would like not to shit my pants when I eat anything.
Yeah, to have no problems with food.
Iron stomach. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what you eat, it doesn't affect you in any way other than satisfaction. Yeah. $5 trillion, just so I'll be richest and most powerful than anyone. And then, how many is that? That's 4. What else would it be?
You don't have to use them all. You can keep some reserved.
Oh, well, one's obviously getting my fucking thing back in it. My fucking soul back.
Oh, your soul back.
So that's 5. Time machine.
Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking time machine.
That's 6.
There's an email where I want to talk about time machines. Is it in this one or is it in the next episode? It's in this episode. We'll get on the time machines in a minute. Fucking hate time traveling wankers. Do you know what? I'll use one of my wishes that no one knows what time travel is. No one can explain it. No one even thinks about it. That's one of my wishes.
Until I turn up with my $1 trillion and I'll be like, here's a notion for you guys. I'm going to fucking break some fucking records here.
I'll be like, dimension time travel is like treason.
I want time travel because you know my obsession with the pyramids and stuff. I would just want to go and see what the fuck happened. I'll just
that could be a wish, though, couldn't it?
I could turn up in my orb and just be like, I don't have to come out the orb just in case they capture me and try and kill me. So I'll just be in my orb and I'll just be floating about and just be like, oh, this is how they did it. Whoop, back away again. Go back and look at real dinosaurs, see if they've got feathers.
Alternatively, you could go, I wish for a tablet that could show me anything or everything. And then you could just be like, Google search it. What happened? How did you...
Yeah, but is a tablet as good as seeing it with your own eyes?
Well, you can make a VR headset then. I wish for a VR headset that could show me anything.
I want to smell the shit in the air.
Do not invent smell-o-vision. I swear to fuck, if I get a TV and it smells like farts, I don't want it. It's not happening.
Smell-o-vision. What's that from? That's from Futurama, isn't it?
Oh no, they've been wanting that for ages. South Park did it, didn't they?
South Park, yeah.
When they released the second game, they released a controller that had you put drops in it, and whenever you press the fart button, it would puff out fart from the controller.
Be sick. Was
that, or was it a mask? One of the two. It's like smell thing.
Oh, and number 7, I would like to sing like Jelly Roll. I would like to be able to sing.
I'd much rather be able to dance.
I think singing would be quite cool because then you can hang out with people that you actually like singing wise and like jam.
I think the problem with singing and dancing is that when you're good at it, people expect you to do it. Like if you're at a party having a good time, they hand you a microphone or they clear a dance floor, and it's like, just because I'm good at it, this is my off time, mate. You know what I mean? This ain't Dancing with the Stars. I don't want to dance for you. I'm not a monkey.
Mate, yeah. I'll be a trillionaire. Everyone in that room, yeah, is going to be... I'll be the Diddy. Everyone would be not doing what I tell them to do.
I would wish for clothes not to exist.
God. Can you imagine the horror show of some people? If you're walking
Don't you
around,
think
I'd be
though
walking
that
around getting sick.
not only would it be like socially normal for like everyone to have different shaped bodies, but like maybe it would make them like
Clean
everyone,
themselves a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
better.
But then I suppose like if clothes didn't exist, then it would just be. I don't think it'd be arousing anymore. So maybe that'd be a shit, right?
What I would, if that was the real thing, if that was to actually happen, I would say there has to be some kind of hygiene clause in it. Like, some of these motherfuckers need to be washing their balls, and that if you're going to be sitting in a conference room and he ain't got nothing holding that smell in, like there needs to be a hygiene clause in that.
Where I saw a TikTok that made me laugh. We'll move on to the next ER. And the guy was trying to figure out the perfect wish. It was like a skit thing with like his mate, and he was like, I can't remember the ins and outs. It was about money, and he was like, I want money. I don't want to be a drug lord. And he had all these lists, and then his mate's the genie, and he's like, you've got it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Wish for that. That's amazing. And he goes, and I wish for that. And then he's like, oh. And it was written on a bit of paper, so he gives him a bit of paper back because he didn't actually say it. He goes, I wish for that, and it's on a bit of paper. I was like, that's fucking brilliant. There's always a fucking because it's like Bedazzled, isn't it? Where like she's constantly trying to find the.
That's what I was trying to think of the film. Yeah,
Bedazzled, yeah. Oh, she's fit. Not so much now, but she was fit. What's her name? Liz Hurley.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good in Austin Powers. Hello, my friends. So the swinging lifestyle has been fun, but as a couple, we've decided we want to work on each other for a while. We may go back to it in the future. That's good that even after this, they have like the respect for each other. They're sort of like, let's give it a break, and like it's a mutual sort of.
Yeah, so it's not led more by one than the other as well. It's more like this is something we were doing together. They're almost treating it like it's a sex toy almost.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's really good though, because some people will be like breaking up, whatever. Like it shows that they've experienced something together and they're still together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that. I'm struggling with this because I'm finding conventional sex is getting boring for me. I'm attracted to my wife and I love her, so I don't get why this is happening. Do you have any suggestions on how to bring back to enjoying a one-on-one with my partner? You got to make it more exciting, yeah. I think that's the whole thing, right? Like sex can with one person is very routine after a while.
Especially if you've been doing like group activities, man. Like that's a big change to do. Like I think for me, it's probably it's something. It's not a road I'd go down anyway, so it's hard for me to visualize having to come back from that. If you know what I mean. But
Mm.
I think I think you hit it right in the head. Really, I think you kind of really need to rediscover each other and
Mm.
like you know what each other like. Maybe like push the boundaries with each other and see where you can go with it, and just like if what's the worst that can happen? You're not going to like what happened. You're not going to like whatever you try, and then you just don't do it again. Do you know what I mean?
I think now there's like, especially coming up to Christmas, right? There you can get like the Love Honey advent calendar,
All right.
and like every day, is it every day they give you a different task or something, or is it a different toy? I can't remember. But there's something. There's like a sexual advent calendar.
Well, right. Yeah. Yeah.
There's also like adult Monopoly, where like I saw it today, and it was like flip over a chance card, and it was like your partner ties you up for 2 minutes, blindfolds you for 2 minutes, and they can do whatever they want. And I instantly had a heart attack because I'm like, I could just imagine like being in the dark and like not knowing what's happening. I was like, fuck no, I don't like that. But yeah, it's all about like making it fun again, right? So like you could, I don't like role playing, but you could make a night out of it. You could book a hotel room, not somewhere that's not far. Say like for Jamie, like book a hotel room in like London, go out for a nice meal, make it romantic, and then spend the night like just randomly in the hotel room where it's always a bit more exciting because you don't have to clean up afterwards.
Yeah, and then you got the option as well as like someone that I know quite well. He was trying to spice things up with his partner, and it seems to work quite well. Which was he they had cards like you said, but it was like they were giving them to each other every now and then. So one of them would be like, "Oh, a free blowjob," and then like, they could like fucking call that card whenever.
Yeah.
And then like over the next couple of months, they were every now and then one of them would like, because sometimes the half of the problem, especially if you're in a committed long-term relationship, is whether trying to figure out whether the other one's interested in it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you're just whipping this card out, like the whole rule behind the card is you have to do it. Don't matter whether you're arguing, fucking can't be bothered, tired or whatever. When the card comes out, you got to do what's on the card. And I think that's a good like way to go.
Yeah.
He said after a while he regretted it because she was fucking whipping out cards left, right, and centre. And he didn't have enough fucking runs in the day to be able to do it.
Well, I think that's a good idea, yeah, because like from like going through the group thing and then just being like in bed and like you've got to like try and like you were started dating again. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there. So it's like from the beginning. That's why I said like doing a bit romantic or doing like games or that card game sounded really interesting. Stuff like that. Like even if like for like a joke, obviously you'd have to put much effort in it, but like make a little coupon book thing.
Yeah,
and just present it like one breakfast. Like you make the coupon, so you don't have to be like shitty ones. Don't
money,
don't buy one because they're always make them fun for yourself. You buy it, it's all on her side. You know what I mean? But then just be like, and it makes a little bit of excitement as well. So I think that's the best way to go. But you two are strong. We know that now. Like you've emailed in quite a lot and you've gone through quite a lot. So I know you'll be able to figure it out.
And then people at work can shut their mouths now. You've stopped swinging.
Yeah.
Because he was getting
once he stopped, they'll probably fucking get involved. But
well,
then
I think
they
were more curious than anything. That's jealousy talking from a lot of them guys.
Yeah, is it? 1 second, dude. I just go to the toilet.
Okay, man.
Today we are trying another American food or drink that are banned in the UK. Today's item: Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. So apparently this has got bromine in it, which can cause memory loss. What's it got in it? This has got bromine in it, which can cause memory loss. This has got bromine in it. Let's try some Mountain Dew. I've never had it before. Here we go. Whoa, don't drink out the bottle. Get some ice in there. Would you like some memory loss, sir?
Jesus, that was fucking horrifying. I felt like I had to start doing prayers to get through that. Next email.
That's all that cream you had in the fucking Prague, bruv.
Seriously, man. Have Svishkara, it's fucking brilliant. I agree with Jamie. What's that TV show? Grotesquely?
Oh, great. It's spelt so mad. Grotesquerie?
Yeah, that's why I was like, double checking because I don't know what that word. Yeah. Anyway, has some brilliant and creepy murder scenes, but the story side of the daughter and mother's relationship is really strange. I know Disney is the worst for the type of thing, but I watch a few things now and it seems to want to force us into this subplots about mental health and emotional care. I think there is a time and a place for this type of thing, and horror shows or serial killer franchise is not it. Can we not have a show or a film that are just straight up without secret meanings now behind them?
You can. Terrifier 1, 2, and 3, pure carnage.
I think you can as well. And this is why I want to talk about time travel. Have you watched the TV show Bodies?
I don't know. Bodies, let me have a look.
You would fucking love it because it's about time travel, and I thought it was a big pile of fucking wanking garbage.
What streaming service is it on?
Netflix. So basically, it's about, for anyone that hasn't watched it, and Jamie's about to look it up.
Oh, is it fucking... This looks... Is that it? No. Is it got Stephen Graham in it?
Yeah. Yeah, so what basically happens, it's about a body turns up in 3 different time zones, past, present, and future. And 3 different detectives are trying to figure out about these bodies.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched an episode of it and then quickly gave up with it.
Yeah. So my massive problem with time travel, and this isn't email, this is just my general... There is something in this show that I'm going to say about the subplot. My massive problem with it, like all time travel, is that the entire show... If you watch the first episode, right... And then the last episode, you saved yourself 6 episodes, because that's what time travel is, right? It's an infinite loop. And then when you're watching it, they're trying to stop this guy from going back in time. And they're like, oh, how many times has this happened? Because he always seemed we can never stop him. And then they stop him. No, it doesn't happen every time because you've stopped him. So you stopped him once. It's never happened. Time travel sucks. This show is fucking horseshit. I hate time travel so much. Anyway, when they go into the past, it's about a detective in London, has a family and a wife, you know, seems like a normal fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
Finds this body and he starts talking to this bloke. Do you get where I'm going to go with this, right? A man is, he's almost fucking, he must be what, early 30s, maybe mid 30s. He's got a wife and a kid that he's quite shown that he's happily married to. And now all of a sudden he wants to bum a man. What does that add? What? I don't why.
Well, was it a Netflix show?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these streaming services, Netflix and Disney, are fucking bad for it. It's pandering to what they think is the new norms. Like, yes, people like married men would go and have fucking gay relationships and stuff, but in a drama about that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be a time travel drama talking about dead bodies and serial killers, whatever. Doesn't need to have that subplot in it.
No. And like I was still with Sabina and the family and that, and I was like, I don't have a problem with gays, trans, or anything like that. Like if it's in the show and it adds to the story, fair enough. Like I'm quite happy to, but for you just to have this family man all of a sudden with no gay tendencies whatsoever, to then in a room with this bloke and all of a sudden he wants to put his bat in his basket, and then he goes and tells his wife that he's met a man and ruins his entire family. Like, are you fucking, like, what is that adding? I don't understand. It was about a guy going back in time. How does him being gay like,
it's just a new thing in it, because because it's 2024 or 2023 when this come out. If that was 2012, it would just be, he's found he got an attraction with some other woman, other man. Sorry, another woman. Yeah, sorry, fucking getting muddled up now. There's that much bullshit. You don't know what's going on.
It'd be like a prostitute or something. He falls in love with.
He would end up doing something. But because of the times we're in, they think let's just pander to another audience and bring in the LGBTQ audience, as though they're not smart enough people to realise that it doesn't fucking matter whether he's sleeping with this geezer or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not the whole thing between that grotesquerie. I stopped watching it after we spoke about it. I actually forgot about it until this has come back up. But why am I interested in her daughter wanting to be the fattest person in the world?
Yeah.
There's no interest in that. Like, is that adding anything to the story other than a weird, depressing subplot? No. Do you know what I mean? And then I've started watching something about time travel, actually, from... I think it's years ago, like 2010 or something. It originally come out. It was called Containium or something like that. It's on Amazon Prime,
right?
And it's about like this woman goes back in time. Like there's a group of people, like basically all of the corporations are taking over the governments in the world. She works for one of the corporations, and like these people that want to get rid of corporations and bring back governments, like are claimed as terrorists. They all get put to death, but just as they're getting put to death, they do this weird time travel shit and end up back in 2012 or 2010 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's like the cop keeping an eye on them. So she jumps into the void and goes into the time loop with them. So then she ends up back in 2010 or wherever it is. So then it's like the whole thing's about her like trying to capture them and make sure they don't succeed in their job and trying to get rid of the corporations before they start. There's none of that shit going on. There's a weird subplot. There's a weird subplot about her liking the cop, the cop from that time, but she can't get with him because he's a guy from the past, and she might like do a fucking Terminator 2. Do you know what I mean? But there's no real like emphasis on that. Where nowadays a lot of the almost 50% of the emphasis of any film or show will be the subplot, not just the film. And apparently, when I was watching an interview, I think it was with Mark Wahlberg, he was saying because of streaming and the streaming sites and how movies get released now, they can't release a bog standard comedy anymore. They can't release a bog standard horror anymore. It needs to have certain demographic hits for them to be successful. Because obviously they would make, say if they didn't make much money in the actual initial cinema release, they'd make all that back in DVD sales because people would want that niche of a horror film or a what's that thing called? Comedy. Because if you notice recently, comedies are pretty low rent, and if you do get a comedy, it's quite rare to have quite a really funny comedy. And like we haven't got Anchormans or anything like that of recent years, and it's because they won't make enough money on streaming sites because there's only a certain group of people that will watch it. Where if Anchorman had like a fucking LGBT side to it, you'd get a bigger audience, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
and that's what Disney are very good at. Disney are very good at doing that, and they seem to keep a lot of parties happy, but sometimes they go overboard with it.
They've killed Star Wars, but like for the just to finish off what I was saying about that show, right? So anyone that hasn't seen it, I'm about to do a spoiler. So obviously, it's not a spoiler because it's time travel. So obviously they sort out the time frame and no one dies and blah, 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 blah. Everything goes back to normal. Like it never happened. Yeah, because I didn't just lose 8 hours of my fucking life. And I was going to speak. I was like, oh, so is he not gay now? That's a bit weird if time fixes and the guy's not gay. Oh, no, but wait. He sees the man from a distance and there's a little gay flicker in his eye. It's like, oh, that's nice. So they say he's always going to turn out gay and ruin his entire family's life. I'm just like, you just couldn't fucking... It's just so irrelevant and just so... Have you seen the new Dragon Age has come out?
Dragon what?
Dragon Age. It's a bit like... It was like a knockoff Skyrim.
Oh, what, like a TV game?
Yeah.
All right. I've never heard of it, no.
And, okay, yeah. So it came out at the same time as Skyrim, but it was never as big. But the new one came out, and it's like the wokest game like ever. Like, the dialogue in it, because I've been watching this guy who's like rating it, and there's a scene that comes out of nowhere where a woman walks in and sits down, and she just goes, "Well, I'm non-binary," and they're like, "What's that?" And there's even dialogue where you can correct people for getting it wrong and stuff like that. It's like, what's that got to do with dragons?
Like, yeah. Unfortunately, that is a load of bollocks. But like the fantasy type of people, like we know the type of people we're talking about here, like as a whole, as a community, they are them type of people that are telling you that they're fucking identifying as other people.
Yeah, but they're annoyed as well. Like the thing that gets me, right, because we have Jim on the podcast. Well, everyone knows Jim. Jim's a great guy.
Yeah.
Going blind. And he's like, because people want like disabled characters and stuff like that. And he's like, in what earth, if I'm living with losing my eyesight, would I want to escape into a game where I'm fucking blind?
Yeah, that'd be
he's
horrific.
He's like, why if I can't use my legs, would I play a computer game where I'm crippled? The whole point in computer games is that you're someone else. You're not playing it to be yourself. Like when I play a game like GTA or stuff like that, I'm a fucking murderous, like, well, I'm burying it deep. But like, you know what I mean? Like I'm out to kill people, to rob and to be a complete and utter dickhead because I can't do that in real life. No way would I want one leg or one arm or... Fair enough, you want to include people, but it's not... It's a computer game. It's not real life. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, do I really have to say that?
It should be like things, especially like things like GTA and that is like you're playing a character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the characters that you're introduced to, or the characters you can make your guy into, because obviously you've got the freedoms now, especially in games, to create almost any character you want. And there is people that go down like the fucking straight and narrow road and want to do the art, like you see like people do the GTA role play, and they're actually being a cop and driving around pulling people over and shit.
And stopping at red lights and stuff.
Yeah. There's people that would do that, and they're like a niche group of people that will do that. The majority of us are going on there and just blowing shit up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like people, I think that the fight to be inclusive sometimes outweighs the fight to just like have fun. And like, that's what Mark Wahlberg was saying in his interviews. Like in his interview, he was saying you can't just have a fun film now, or like a hard hitting gangster gritty film, without some weird subplot in it that's got some kind of meaning behind it. And he says even if it's not anything to do with like inclusiveness, it'll be like, oh, he's learned his lesson and he's changing his ways. When in real life, that guy would go to prison and die in prison probably.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where you don't have that nowadays.
No.
The audience just doesn't want it. But then you see things like The Terrifier, which is a terrible film. When you watch the films, Dan, they are terrible, like in how they're made, and you can see what they're trying to do. They're just trying to be what they are, like gore fest films.
Yeah.
And the reason they've done so well in the cinemas and they've got a cult following is because there's no other thinking behind it. It's other than just carnage. Do you know what I mean? And some people want that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll have to watch them.
Yeah.
In like,
I'm fixating on them, but there is similar things to that.
Yeah. All the ramblings and everything about this email, like, be whatever you want to be. Yeah, I don't care. Like, as long as in a TV show, it means something. And like the Dragon Age, I'm not going to play it. But if you're happy with the dialogue and you're happy with the dialogue, everyone be what they want. I don't care. What a frustrating world we live in.
Because that's neutral people that get caught up in it. You got like the right wing fucking people that don't want any of that shit, and like you have to follow Christianity. You got people like that, and then you got people that are like want to be a fairy, like floating around in a fucking bubble. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you got people in the middle that don't give a fuck. Yeah, but then you're just caught with both sides.
Yeah,
and you end up just barraged with bullshit.
What I would love, right? And I'm talking from a computer game, because you can't do this in TVs and stuff like that, where at the beginning it comes up and it says, do you want LGBT or do you want disabled people in it, or do you want... And if you just like, no, I just want to kill a dragon or set fire to someone, you just turn it all off. Because that's really what it is, right? It's like, it comes up and it's like, are you colorblind? Are you deaf? Are you thinking? It's like, are you gay? No. Oh, okay, well, we'll make the game straight. Like, how hard would that be?
Just have it all under one cap and just say, do you want woke shit in this game?
Yeah. There was that game that completely bombed, and it was literally about correcting everyone. So like there was a button, like during dialogue, if someone got your pronouns wrong, there was a button combination to press for you to correct that person during the game. I can't remember what it's called, but it completely fucking got annihilated.
Oh, and, I met someone in a bar, and well, she, I don't know, did she? I can't remember what she said her pronouns were, but she introduced herself with her pronouns. She come over and she was talking about some. We were talking about something. There was a sport. There was some sport on the TV, and we were trying to get it turned over because we wanted to put on a particular football game.
Yeah.
And then she was like the worker in there, and she come over and she was like, "I'm Hannah. My pronouns are this, this, and that." And I was thinking, you don't need to tell me that. Firstly, I don't give a fuck what your name is, Hannah.
Oh, I think it was called...
I want the TV changed, Hannah. I don't want to know your fucking pronouns, Hannah.
It was called Dustborn.
What's that, the game?
Yeah. How the fuck did it get 7 out of 10? Like, I don't know if anyone's following any of this, but like all game review they're all fake. Like IGN especially, like they pay and they have bots that put up their ratings. So do not trust, especially IGN. For the sake of love, do not fucking. Oh, look, here's the description.
So I don't know enough about gamers to even know what IGN is.
It's a company that like they were really popular. Like, you could really like count on their reviews, but they've been proven to be scummy bastards. Yeah. I can't even. Ragtag crew check, musical gear check, tour bus, robotic driver, stolen package check. Embark on a perilous road trip across the divided state of America. Use the power of words to shape relationships with your crew and get out of trouble and react to the final destination. No.
Is that the premise of the game?
Yeah.
It's just to talk to each other.
To use the power of words.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, it's so fucking. There's a guy on TikTok that just like ruins all these games. It's fucking brilliant. Right, last email. Thanks for the advice, lads. I've took it and ran with it and spent enough time getting upset about these people who messed me around. Oh, you found a girl and she was been dating someone else.
Right, okay.
Because is this the
guy that kept finding girls that were dating other people? He had there's one guy that had like a chain of 3.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's this guy. He started dating someone for 3 months, then he found out she's in a long-term relationship. The one that, because he lived in another town, so she would when she couldn't see him, she would see him. Well done, man. You're better than that. I mean, you're fine.
Fuck her, mate.
I've been sleeping with this girl and she's in the same headspace as me. We both have been hurt by people and just want a casual thing, so there's no expectations. It's a breath of fresh air, and she's a really kinky girl too, so it makes it that fun. They always come around. That's good. When you need them, they're there.
When they're a little bit, just watch how kinky she is, because that's direct parallel to fucking crazy. Direct parallel.
The only thing is, she's told me not to use my fleshlight because she feels like it'd be treating her the same as the fleshlight.
I've spoke too soon.
Isn't it? Is it me? Is this not a weird request? I've never had a girl even ask about my masturbation, let alone ask me not to do it. I don't think it's not to masturbate. I think it's not to use
a fleshlight.
A fake vagina, yeah. Welcome to the Fleshlight Club. I haven't used mine in very months, but it's somewhere dusty. I don't know where it is.
This is what I was just about to say. So when you get into a relationship, wouldn't that just become like an ornament almost that is at the back of the cupboard?
Yeah. Like that was what I was going to say.
I'm like, for it, is there anymore?
No. I mean, I wouldn't throw it away because them fucking things aren't cheap. But
at one point you were talking about handing it down to your child.
No. I asked, is it weird for someone to do that? I haven't got any children, thank you very much, so you can keep that to you. I tell you what, they'll get value in those things, and they'll be happy. By the time I have kids and hand that down, they'll be able to buy a fucking house with it.
Fucking bargain hunt 2048, yeah.
There'll be like a date on it, and they'll be like, "Fuck, this is authentic."
This is authentic.
Yeah, they'll be on the telly,
and he's like just slapping it on the table. It's just like, I think this is the real deal, guys.
Yeah, like once you've met someone, like there's no real. Because I mean, they're not amazing. I think they're all right. I mean, it's not like it's not like the real deal.
I think I think I've probably brought this up probably more than once in the podcast. I met a girl that once told me that I could only see my friends on certain days.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sex was good with her as well. Do you know what I mean? She's a little bit kinky, a parallel to fucking crazy. Yeah. So I think what you need to watch, because this might be the first step, is tell her that you're not using it anymore, because you're probably not. Don't throw it out. She probably knows where it is in your flat or house or whatever, so move it. And just say,
I wouldn't fucking move it. If you've moved it, it looks like you've used it.
Yeah,
like, if you're telling her you're not using it and she knows where it is, she's fully checking it every time you go to the fucking toilet, yeah.
Putting her fingers in it. And
what, so she's now using it instead of fucking... I tell you, God forbid, man, you're ever single and you turn around and you'll be like, Dan, I bought a fleshlight. I'll be like, fucking hell. Would you even know what to do with it, Jay?
Mate, I've been married that long. I forgot where it goes, mate. I forgot where it goes. No, no. I like genuinely. I think like just be careful with it. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna adhere to your fucking requests. I would just be like, look, we're casual. What I'm doing in my own time isn't thing, but just to let you know, I'm not really using it anymore anyway. But I'm not going to be getting rid of it, and then just see where it goes from there. Because I think if you say yes, then next thing you know, oh, you can't text other people when she's around. Then then you're not allowed to see your friends on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Then next thing you know, you're getting accused of all sorts and getting loads of people after you. So it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
I think Jay's looking way too much into that. Like, I would just be like, all right then, and then leave it at that. Like, I don't think it's going to turn out to be her.
Yeah, but then the next time you're together, you come out after you've done the business. Yeah, you come out, you go have a quick shower, come out the shower, and she's fully swabbing and sniffing your fucking fleshlight. She's pulled out the cupboard.
Jamie is way too involved in this. Like, it's perfectly understandable for her to be like, you have me now. Why do you need like a fake vagina? Like, she's no way telling you not to masturbate, and we already established that masturbation puts off prostate cancer, so keep that up. But like,
and I fucking dare someone to tell me they don't.
Oh yeah, everyone fucking masturbates, like everyone.
And you're a child if you're telling me that you're an absolute petulant child if you're telling me that you don't, because it annoys me. Do you know when you like every now and then it comes up in conversation? They're like, "Oh, I haven't done that. I don't do that."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh right, okay."
I bet even the Queen flicked her bean every now and again.
The Queen flicked her bean.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've got two people here, so you've got two things, but I wouldn't look too much into it. I would just be like, all right then.
Yeah, at first. But just be wary. Just be wary. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's good, like her to say, like, oh, don't use it, is for her to be like, I'm going to fulfill, like, I'm going to, whenever you need it, I've got it. That to me is what she's saying. Is like, why would you need to use it? And you just be like, all right then. I think Jamie's creating more problems than he's fucking.
No, I would be agreeable, but I would be.
No, you're sitting down. You're setting rules, Jamie. You're sitting down. You'll be like, listen, love, right? You can't tell me what to fucking do. I'm not using it anyway. So for the fact that you brought it up, regardless, is just lay down with your legs open and don't think about what I'm using that fucking thing for, bitch. That's what Jamie's getting in.
Well, what you could do is do something really weird and start like playing with it while you're having sex. That would really set things on fire. Do you know what I mean?
Jay's we've talked about all this like woke stuff, and Jay's just gone off the fucking wagon here. He's like, I'm letting it all out now.
Now, what I genuinely think is just fucking be agreeable, yeah, but be wary. Be wary if this is the beginning of the end. I like this guy's been hurt enough times. I don't want him to end up with fucking crazy Cruella. Do you know what I mean? I don't want him to go through it again.
Yeah, of course, but that's why I was like, don't be creating more problems than's necessary, right?
No, I was saying what I would do at the beginning.
Yeah, I know, exactly, which is why I said to him, don't create more, because that's what you do, self-sabotage. Just agree and say, like, she hasn't specified you have to get rid of it or anything like that. She's just like, please don't use it. Don't use it. It's like, they're not that great anyway. Everyone's like, I've got a fleshlight. It's like, and?
What happens with it? What, like, I know this is, a lot of people will be turned off by this, but, like, how do you fucking clean it?
You run hot water through it.
And what, just like leave it sitting out like a fucking towel?
Yeah, like air dry it, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be swapping that out. She's going to be checking that. You got to be careful, man.
It's not his wife. Like, they're just having a casual thing.
Don't be thinking you're going to have like a little cheeky one on a Saturday. You're going to see it on a Sunday and it's still on the fucking mantelpiece.
I said before, like, I used to, because I've got like a washing basket next to the sink, and I used to have like a towel on top of it, and I just like wash it in the sink. I just lay it on and then go to work. And I think to myself, really hope Mum doesn't go round surprised like to do something in the house. And she goes up to the bathroom and it's just sitting there.
My mate Matt, yeah, when he was single, he was still living at home before he was moved in with his missus, and he had a fleshlight and he called it Sally. Yeah,
Holy shit.
and Sally, he didn't give a shit whether his mum saw it or not. So Sally would always be on his bedside cabinet all the time.
Fuck that.
And we were playing. Oh my god, bruv.
Why does he have to, he must have a really knockoff fucking fleshlight, because I've got the proper ones, because I like that. I like the rich, expensive stuff. But they're like of actresses. Like I've got Maitland Ward.
I don't know. Is that a porn star?
No, well she is now, but she was an actress. She was in White Chicks.
All right.
And now she does porn because it makes her more money.
Yeah.
But like, so I wouldn't have to name it. Like, it has a name already. It's got their signature on it. I can't. Who was the other one? Because I got two.
Maybe the woman was called Sally. I don't know. I have to ask him.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because you can get like blank ones, just a vagina.
So what? They're actually like a replica of a woman.
Yeah, of the porn actress. Yeah.
Well, they're not just be like fucking dug out.
No, porn actresses aren't just like Cavins. You know what I mean? Just because they get it doesn't mean.
Just that I feel it feels like going into. Do you remember when I walked into that open church thing and I spoke and it was echoes? That's what I could imagine if I put my fucking dick in one of them.
I just like the thought that like you're so out of touch, man. You know what I mean?
Mate, I've been in a committed relationship for a long time. I don't know anything about fleshlights. I don't even think fleshlights were around in 2012.
Like a porn star walks down the street and you just hear whistling because the air is going through the middle of their legs. You're like, I know what she does for a living.
Bummed in Family Guy. That's what it's like.
It's like a fucking clown's pocket. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. Like if you go onto if you actually go onto the Fleshlight website, they're all actresses, and they like you can see like because it's just like a mold, isn't it? It's just a silicone mold.
So Fleshlight is a brand then.
Yeah, the actual Fleshlight. Yeah, so that's the actual name of it.
Right, I thought that was just what. So what is it actually called then?
Well, that is what it's called, and then people do like knockoff ones, right? Where it's just like it is what it is. It's just the same for everything.
Mate, I might have to get this Love Honey fucking calendar, mate. I need to do some learning.
I can't remember if you get stuff in it or it's like you open it and there's like a task for that day.
Number 25 is just like a fleshlight, but you have to keep the whole calendar. You just have to fuck the calendar.
It's like instructions how to roll it up, and then you take the plastic out, and then the plastic folds into a vagina, and then you slit it in the end, and it's like, please use lube because plastic can have sharp edges.
And at the other end, it's like, put your name here, innit? Where you got to name it.
Because there was a
Beatrice.
Was it last
Beatrice,
year?
It was called.
Beatrice. Yeah. There was a thing. I was going to say spurt, but that's not going to be a good word. Where you could buy make your own fleshlight or make your own dildo, and it was like kits for a man and a woman to mold their own privates.
So what, the girl would like put it up her?
I watched one, and she had to like squat, and then like so what it is
like a pate.
Yeah, so the first part for the woman, and same for the man.
It's not a patty, is it? It's a Jamaican patty.
Yeah, so the first part for like man and woman is like making the mold. So it's like not paper mache. What's it like? The grey
putty.
Yeah, sort of like putty, whatever. Clay, yeah. So you would have to like hold, like stay erect, or like she squatted and like held the cup up between her legs for like 5 minutes. She had fucking powerful legs to squat for 5 minutes. And then once that's all done, you then pour the silicone into it, and then that makes the mold, and then you cut the middle, or you make a dildo. But it's a whole fucking process.
What do you talk about for that 5 minutes? You just squatting and sitting there with your dick out.
Well, it depends if like you're doing it on your own or you got someone helping you. I couldn't imagine like having to like stay erect and like not do anything with it. Like
if nothing was happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and you have to stay.
Later, mate.
You have to stay like that, like hard.
Mate, I haven't been able to do that since I was 14.
Yeah, like it goes up, and then if no one's doing it, it goes back down again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're not playing today, are we? See you later. Yeah, exactly, close the door.
Like when I wake up and it's up in the morning, I'm like, fuck, I've got to go to the toilet. It's like when I was younger, I was like, wait. Now I'm just like, fuck off, man. Like, just go away.
You got to stand in like the fucking like the actual door frame of the toilet just to fucking be able to aim it in. Otherwise, it's like a fucking hose going in the wrong direction.
Boners, how annoying.
But when we're old enough to have them, we can't get them anymore. We'll be fucking crying about. We'll be trying to get them. I'll be chewing on them fucking tablets like fucking M&Ms, bruv.
One of my favourite scenes from Still Game, which is a Scottish TV show, where they're sitting like about two old men and they're sitting there having their breakfast, and he's just sort of like, I had a boner this morning, and he's like, what'd you do with it? He goes, I just looked at it for a little bit and then it went away. He's like, Jesus, I can't remember the last time I had a boner. That'd be me and you.
Yeah. I still won't know what a fucking fleshlight is.
What does he say? He goes to him, that's Mother Nature telling you that everything's working. And he's like, that's a fucker giving me a boner and nowhere to plant it. Great show. But yeah, that's it, man. It's a good episode back. We had a little bit of a rant. Makes me feel a little bit better. I'm sure everyone hated that segment about us moaning about
shit.
Woke shit, yeah.
Oh,
we haven't done it for a while, so
that YouTube video is almost definitely going to have his comments turned off. I'll put it that way.
In the email I sent back, I put "fuck Disney," and that's why we need someone else doing the emails, not us.
Yeah,
because you put everyone.
Yeah. Do you remember the Spain thing? We fucking got berated for the Spain thing.
That's put me off YouTube. I haven't. People have been, if they ever watch the YouTube, they'll be like, "Why is it so sporadic?" It's because I just haven't got a love for it anymore.
Absolutely molested, yeah. We got like trolled big time. Well, I wouldn't even say trolled. People were trolling each other. Then people started coming after us because it picked up enough traction. So it just became like a whole debacle.
Yeah,
and I was just getting messages constantly.
And I'm messaging Jamie and being like, "There's another one," and he's like, "Just turn the comments off." And I'm like, "I can't," but I'm like punishing myself because all the comments I'm taking on as like personal, which you shouldn't, but I do.
It's like Ramesh Ranganathan. Like even when you're properly famous, people do it still. And Ramesh Ranganathan was talking about it in their episode this week, and he was talking about him doing something he's in South Korea at the minute doing a show.
Oh yeah.
And like someone said something about him having to like make up. He went on a podcast and he made a flippant comment. This is how bad it is for famous people sometimes. He made a flippant comment that he had to like make sure he's got a work-life balance to make sure his relationships are right. So then the Daily Mail picked that up and said Ramesh had to fight for marriage after working too much in the media and all this stuff. So then, in the comments of that article, people was like, Ramesh Ranganathan is about as funny as diarrhea. Ramesh Ranganathan, why is he even a comedian? I didn't know he was funny. And like he got like loads and loads, and he's sitting on the podcast like reading them out, and he's like. And then Tom's like, why are you reading this stuff, man? Just fucking don't read it. And he was like, I can't help it. I just want to kill myself now and all this stuff. And that just reminded me so much of me and you talking about that Spain video. And
yeah, because you're like, take the comments off. And I'm like, no, because if you turn the comments off, the video will stop going. And you're just turn it. I'm like, no,
I was like, it don't matter. Fucking turn the fucking thing off.
Yeah. And then I'm like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh God, Jamie, there's another one. The one because like my biggest problem for me is that I have no self-confidence in what I say, right? Not for one episode have I made of this podcast where I haven't been completely honest and I've never doubted anything I've ever said, but I still don't believe that people give a fuck of what I say. So then one of those comments said, two men know nothing, and they really went to town on how we have no idea what we're talking about, which is what my worried was. And it just brings all back this like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do the podcast. Even though I couldn't even count how many emails have said, thank you for the great advice. That means nothing when someone's going, you don't know anything. And you're like, maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I'm giving horrible advice.
Erases 2 years of fucking hundreds
and I'm like,
hundreds
Dan,
of emails.
You're a piece of shit. Like you're ruining people's lives because you don't know that Spain has more
economy than tourism.
Than tourism, yeah. Spain does more than tourism. They have lots of things to do they? Do they really? Not for me, they don't.
Well, I'll tell you what, no one gives a fuck, Spain. Fuck you, Spain.
That's because their economy is so incredibly amazing, isn't it? The fact that they only work 4 hours a day and they've got all this money to throw up. Yeah, fucking Dan doesn't know anything. Anyway, rambling.
It was around the reform time, wasn't it? It was around the election because it was a lot of it kept getting brought back to that. It was like 2 reform voters get with 1 brain cell and shit like that. I was just like, what
was one of them? It was like, I didn't know reform know how to use a computer. And I'm like, what's this got to do with reform? I didn't mention reform. Like,
no,
it's about Spain.
And we've never ever, even in the fucking disclaimer that's at the beginning of the YouTube videos, we say we're not fucking experts on anything. Yeah. We're 2 idiots trying to give people advice.
If you don't like the opinions, don't fucking watch it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but just you wait, Dan. It will happen in a week's time with the woke shit.
It was only because as well, because when you look at the algorithm, it's like, this person's only watched 20 seconds. And I read out the email and then I straight away say, what would Spain do if they got no tourism? That's all they've got. And then they cut off the video and they're like, this fucking guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I was like, it's a joke.
And then they just send
send hate mail, yeah. Fuck's sake. Please keep your lovely emails coming. It stops me from killing myself.
We'll direct them towards that cult leader. Do you know the cult leader that kept emailing us?
Oh, yeah.
Any emails that come our way, that's abuse, we'll just like redirect towards him and just like create like that.
The therapist asked me today if I ever thought about killing myself, and I was like, nah, it creates more problems than it solves, doesn't it? I was like, maybe when I was younger I did have one thing, and she's like, tell me about that, and I was like, oh, it was over a girl, wasn't it? I was like, I got really drunk, and then my mate found me and walked me to his house, and he got me addicted to Lost. I was like, so I probably should have killed myself. I would have been better off. Probably not the best to make jokes when you're in fucking therapy, you know what I mean?
Well, they're just writing that joke down, thinking, is this a joke or is this a cry for help?
There's a fucking cry for help. Oh, fucking Lost. Anyway, yeah, I want to go to bed, man. It's fucking late. It's been a good episode, though.
Right. On that note, let's end it there. Everyone, send in your questions, your feedback, and your content ideas for the show into 2mennohope@gmail.com, and I'll see you at the next one, Dan.
Yeah, man. See you later, dude.
Bye.